project was on the bioinformatic identification of candidate biomarkers in pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. So pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma is one of the most lethal forms of cancer, but its etiology remains largely unknown. But in order to study this cancer further, we must first understand where it comes from. The Venn diagrams, I found 432 upregulated genes and 116 downregulated genes. Next, I used a tool called David to perform gene ontology analysis in order to assign functions to the regulated genes based on their characteristics. So in order to find the functional association among the differentially expressed genes in the PDAC condition, I used string to construct a protein-protein interaction network as shown. And after creating the network, I analyzed it to find the hub genes based on the degree of connectivity, is that the survival probability of patients is lower. So in summary, from in silico analysis using 4 different data sets, I found 432 upregulated genes and 116 downregulated genes. Through functional enrichment analysis of the DEGs, I found that the biological processes affected our cell adhesion and focal adhesion, and these processes are related to cancer. Finally, I found the 10 hub genes from the protein-protein interaction network, and all 10 were found to be involved in the progression of pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. And out of these 10, 5 of them, FN1, ITGB5, ITGB4, STC1, and COL4A1 are positively correlated with poor prognosis and can be a candidate biomarker in PDAC. So further understanding of the mechanisms of these genes can help us understand the progression and treatment of pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma.
I can start. So did you look for some other cancer where you found these kind of hub genes upregulating or downregulating?
I didn't really look into any other cancers, but since some of these hub genes do have, I guess, factors that are associated with cancer in general, I would predict that they would also affect other cancers as well.
Okay, and did you see any discrimination among these hub genes? Like if you have to pick out of 5 or 10 genes, if you have to pick only one gene for your further research, so can you pick one gene which is like more suitable candidate for analysis?
I'd say that they all do play a pretty significant role in cancer, but I'd say that the FN1 gene, since it's the main constituent of the tumor stroma, and dense stroma does play a fundamental role in the progression of the cancer, I'd say that that gene would, I guess, have a slightly larger role in the progression of the cancer, but I'm not sure as I haven't exactly looked into that.
Okay, thank you.
So when you were studying all these, basically 5 hub genes, did you try to read some recent publications about these genes? Because there are some papers about, especially the collagen types of genes. People are trying to find out therapeutic approaches to target collagen so that it kind of literally dissolves the tumor so that the drugs can reach the tumors. So, I mean, did you try to find out publications on those?
I haven't really seen any publications on those, but I have found that for some of the hub genes, like for example, COL1A1 or COL4A1, the collagen actually kind of promotes PDAC cell survival. But so I'm not too sure how those recent publications would come into play and how it would affect it. But I will look into that in the future. Thank you for telling me about that.
Yeah, awesome work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question in the similar lines. So you identified certain hub genes. So what is the significance of these genes in the sense that can you target any of them?
So these genes, since they're prognostic biomarkers, that means that if these genes are targeted, they could play a role in the diagnosis and progression of PDAC. So that's why these 5 genes were chosen. I'm not sure if that answers your question.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah. Thank you.
Good job. So I just had a question regarding how you arrived at choosing them as like 5 candidate biomarkers. Was there any specific question which you had to arrive at that, or how did you go about doing that?
So as I mentioned, they were put into KM plotter and the overall survival analysis was studied. And it was found that the p-values of these hub genes were significantly lower, and the overall survival analysis was also significantly lower. So patients that had these genes upregulated were more, they had a lower survival probability, which is why these 5 were chosen instead of the other 5 in the list of 10.
Okay. So did you also look at the disease-free survival, or you just looked at the overall survival, like disease-free or like recurrence? Did you look at that?
I just looked at the overall survival analysis.
Okay. So is there any supporting literature for that? Like, did you come across any studies which have looked at supporting those genes, saying that they are good prognostic markers?
I put them into KM Plotter, which I believe uses the data from existing experiments and studies, but I didn't look into specific papers that discussed these genes in regards to the overall survival analysis of these 5 genes.
Okay, sounds good.
So, just a comment, like I think someone asked if some other cancers have similar hub genes. So
Yeah.
basically, ovarian cancer is another cancer that has a metastasis pattern similar to pancreatic cancer. So just wanted to point that out.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll look into it and see what I can find.
No, I just want to add, like, it's very impressive to see, like, you have gone through this kind of analysis, because people, even after PhD or even at PhD level, they do these kind of analysis. So I'm very surprised, and it's very impressive for me to see this kind of analysis done by you. So I would recommend, I would expect you to continue doing this work if you get time. Like, if you want to pursue this kind of work, it's really, really impressive.
Oh, thank you so much. And of course, it's all thanks to my mentor, Dr.
Yes.
As she did play a really big role in helping me with this project. I had a really good experience. She's really kind, always willing to answer questions. And I wouldn't have been able to complete this project without her, obviously. And I'm just really grateful for this experience that SkoolMentor and I have given me. So thank you so much.